certain people, and they have
some
relations.
Vendors
They have relations to relationships with certain of their where they get their product, and it's simply of me saying okay or not. And if I'm good with it, then we move forward.
So, do you consider yourself a successful entrepreneur?
You know what? I don't really know how to answer that question, simply because I basically followed what everybody wanted. I knew I had a good product, and that was simply because the product just kept getting sold out in all stores that I was putting it at. And as people were asking me, hey, can you put it in this city, or can you put it at this store? Or I was just following their request. I was just filling their request. That's all I was doing. I really wasn't out trying to market this product the way it is now. It wasn't intended to do that. And truthfully, and I will be completely and brutally honest, that I can't take credit for the growth of my business. I really can't. It's the people, my supporters, the people that actually go and buy the product. That's why I give all the credit.
Did you go through process of feeling fear and probably thinking, no, this is going to be too risky for me, I better stop?
Oh, yeah, that's every day. And to be
Still
honest,
today?
Same thing today. I mean, I run into certain situations where it's like, oh, man, like, how are we going to make, how are we going to make this batch? Or, because we would sell so much product and we have to wait 45, to 50 days to get paid on that product. It's an ongoing it's until, just put it this way, the day the product is on cruise control and it's moving on its own without me having to I will always be involved in my business. Don't get me wrong. But the day it's on its own and it's moving, and that's the day I know I made it.
When you have enough money in your account to cover any order.
Yep.
Because the retailers or markets take like sometimes 45 to 60 days to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make it with your own money, bankroll it, and then try to get paid, in 60 days. So it's kind of tough.
So, and then you got to keep in mind too that that once you're getting to a level where you're manufacturing a certain amount of product, your overhead gets bigger. So compared to when, a lot of people say, oh, now you got it easy. I go, no, I think it's harder. Because in the very beginning, I didn't have no overhead. I'd go to the store, make a sale, and get paid. Done. And now it's completely different. There's insurance policies. There's, fees to the FDA. I mean, there's just so much behind it now. And your overhead it's a little bigger and bigger and bigger, and your margins get shorter and shorter and shorter. So now what happens is I'm no longer concentrating on the one liquor store buying product. Now I'm concentrating on selling 10, 15 pallets and trying to get that bigger sale, because now it's not about the individual sale. It's all about volume now, because your margins now, your overhead's cutting into your margin, and then it's becoming, now it's based on volume.
Who is guiding you into that process? Do you have a mentor, somebody that is teaching you, okay, this is the cost, you have to cut here, whatever? It's just intuition, or you are good for numbers?
Well, as far as numbers, I mean, it's easy to follow. It's just plus and minus, that's and divide. That's all it is about this business. But as far as like mentoring me and telling me, hey, you need to cut expenses here, you need to do this, or you need to do that, I would have to give that to my accounting. If you get in a good accounting, they can guide you. In where you need to go. So,
would you go back to be a driver at this point? Never again.
No, I leave that open. I leave that open. You never know. I still have my credentials. Even with my other job, the law enforcement job, I still have all my credentials. My Class A driver's license, I still have that. You just never know.
Are you happy now?
I'm very happy. Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. It's fun. Being a people person out there on a daily, meeting different people, shaking people's hands. That's creating relationships.
What's the most valuable experience you have learned during this process?
The most just learning the business, the meeting big accounts. Some people say, how did you get that account? I don't know. So that's, it's exciting.
So what would be your advice for young entrepreneurs that want to launch a business or are into or starting to be into the line of business that you have?
The advice, be persistent, patience. Patience is key. I think a lot of the times.
What's the relation between patience and resilience?
Oh man. Well, you would have to be resilient all the time, because if you're hungry for it, you're gonna have to go chase after it. But with that comes patience too, because if you go out and try to get this account, that account's not gonna call you tomorrow or today or next week. Sometimes it'll take a year to call you back.
What's the most difficult part of your business?
The patience.
To be patient at the same time.
Yeah, and to be patient at the same time, because it's a lot of the times you feel like, oh man, I just talked to this company, and then you get so excited, and at the same time it's like, okay, how come they haven't called me, man? And then here comes a year later, it's like, hey, now we're ready. Oh my God!
What's the biggest risk
biggest risk
you face every day or month in
financial?
Your industry? Financial.
Yeah, financial.
Can you sleep at night?
You know what? My wife gets so mad at me about this, but I can always sleep. I don't care the situation, but I can always sleep.
Yes, if I give you a billboard in the main street in your town in Los Angeles, which message would you write on for everybody to see? Besides
Ojo Rojo?
Beside your brand, of course.
Geez. I'm telling you, man, I'm stuck with patience. There's a saying that my old boss gave me when I first started my first job, and that was patience is a virtue, because I was always hungry to get to the next level. It's like, hey, what do I need to do to move up? What do I need to do? Relax, Jesse, relax. Patience is a virtue. That was my buddy, Mike Arve, and I will never forget that. And he would always tell me that. And he helped me a lot.
And a message for your partner in life and in business. What would you tell your wife?
Oh, I love her to death. I couldn't ask for a better partner.
What do you learn from her so far?
Oh man, can I cuss? I'm just playing. No, just playing. No, she's the anchor. By far, she's my anchor. Soon as I start getting out of line, she's the one that puts me back into it. Sometimes when I'm frustrated, she's the one that takes the beating, and I can see that. And I couldn't ask for a better partner.
Jesse, what a pleasure to have you.
No, thank you for having me.
Okay, I see that there is so much into this, the labeling, the bottling, your facial experience, expression, and it's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that you're going to keep growing very well.
I hope so. I'm waiting for that day. Everybody, whoever, anybody that's starting a business, everybody's, thinking like, oh man, I want to become a millionaire. Of course, man, that's the ultimate goal. That's the end game, is to be successful in life, be wealthy. You don't have to worry. Maybe pass this over to a family member or daughter or son or whatever. But
or sell it.
Yeah, that's
the exit strategy.
Yeah, that's the exit strategy. That's the end game for me. Is for one day to say, grow it big enough to say, hey, you know what? Let's take it from here. And I'm like, and then at that point, maybe get into something else. I don't know. There's one thing that this thing Ojo Rojo has taught me is that it's not hard to start something. It's just you just have to keep on going. You just have. If you believe in it hard enough and well enough for it to keep going, then you shouldn't have a problem making it happen. Somehow, some way, it always works itself out. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
No, thank you, Fernando. Gracias.
You can find out more about Jesse and Ojo Rojo Bloody Beer Mix at OjoRojoBloodyBeer.com. Thanks so much for listening to our show this week. If you want to find out more about our podcast, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Como Lo Hizo, or visit our website at ComoLoHizo.com. Please subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to your podcast. If you want to reach out to comment or suggest a topic, please email hello@ComoLoHizo.com. This show was produced at the iHeart Studios in Los Angeles. I'd like to thank our producers, Fernando Alejandro Schiantarelli and Amelia Machiavello, our sound engineer, Martin Garcia, and Annie Siderovich, our general producer. Como Lo Hizo is a co-production from Premier Radio Network and Crece Grow Media. I am Fernando Schiantarelli. Thanks again for listening.